Hey guys, Paul Tenhaken in the campaign office here before I head out for a big day of campaigning. And I just did a video a little bit ago and we had bad internet connection. I'm going to try this again and talk to you about crime and specifically the 2017 crime stats that the Sioux Falls Police Department released last Friday, I believe it was, at a press conference that I went and attended. And so every year the department comes out with their numbers, and I have those here. You can get them on the city's website. It's the crime stats for the year, and so this is what your city has looked like for the past year in terms of crime. So calls for service increased, which is typical with a population increase. We hit double-digit homicides for the first time ever this past year with 10 of those, but we had some good things too. Some of our property crimes and violent crimes were actually down, slight downtick after several years of upticks. So that's a good thing when you see that. The area of concern that I continue to focus on is right here in your total narcotics cases. So you see in the total narcotics cases here, we hit almost 3,000 this past year, up from about 2,750, 2,400 the year before, 2,100 the year before that. So continue to see a substantial increase in narcotics cases. And if you talk to the police department and you talk to some of the property owners and others that experience crime issues, a lot of times it's related to narcotics. And specifically, it's often related to our meth activity in our city. And so the meth issue, to me, when we talk about crime, that's a big topic. The meth issue specifically is an issue I really want to get aggressive on in City Hall, and have ideas to do that. I have a 2026 plan that I put out that you can go to my website and download, and have been meeting with a lot of the police officers, a lot of the city public officials, nonprofits that deal with this meth issue to try to unpack what that means. Is it not just enforcement, but it's also treatment, it's also prevention, education in the school system. So it is definitely not a silver bullet approach. There's a lot of different pieces to that. So when you talk about getting tough on crime and dealing with crime, one thing that I have been looking at is rental density, because statistically, the higher the rental density in a neighborhood, the higher the amount of crime. And so how do we as a city make sure that we aren't facilitating high crime neighborhoods and city neighborhoods with the rental densities that we're providing? So this map shows you the Pettigrew Heights neighborhood. You can see the boundaries there. And all those little dots with an R on it are rental properties. So you can see that the density in this neighborhood, in the Pettigrew Heights neighborhood specifically, is extremely dense with rental properties. In fact, there's about 1,100 rental properties in that neighborhood, and about roughly 300, give or take, owner-occupied units. So you have nearly a 3-to-1 with that. And so I see this as an opportunity. So you look at some of these areas where you have high density, blocks of rental units, and what revitalization efforts can exist, or can we do as a city to help ensure that these are safe neighborhoods to live in. And so that's working with property owners, it's working with code enforcement, that's patrolling, that's neighborhood revitalization efforts that can exist there. So when I talk about dealing with crime, and you use vernacular like I'm going to be tough on crime, because I am, that doesn't just mean enforcement. That means looking at the totality of the issue: prevention, education, neighborhoods, associations, rental density, all these pieces that work together to make a city safer. So I wanted to just give you guys a quick update on that, especially since the PD just released those crime numbers last Friday. And hug a police officer, all right? If you see a cop around, we have a fantastic police department. They do a great job with the resources they have. Sioux Falls we're still a safe city, and I still feel that way, but it's changed. The question that I get a lot from people, or that people ask me a lot, is, what are you going to do about crime? It's probably the #1 question I get. And so I'm doing it. I'm researching it, and I'm trying to figure out what we have to do to make sure Sioux Falls is a city that we all feel really safe in. So if you have time, go to the city's website, download those crime stats. You'll be hearing me talking about this at mayoral forums and so forth going forward. And like I said, go to my website, download the 2026 plan that I have, which outlines some of the ideas I have about how we continue to stay tough on crime in Sioux Falls. So that's it for now. We'll see you next time, and I hope to see you on the campaign trail. Have a blessed day.